right, guys, so we have had a lot of questions on how the QuickRun Hemi harness is wired up and what you need to do to get your swap running. So we're going to cover it very quickly, but also very, very deeply and efficiently. So first thing we need to know is this engine harness is exactly how it would come on a production vehicle. This is not modified in any way, shape, or form. The way you would pull this engine out of a Charger Challenger is exactly how you have it here. Full engine harness dressed out, and then the ECM mounted close by with the ECM connector and the body connector. We have the grounds ran, and then the battery positive cable ran to the battery over here. So what we're going to do is take out the QuickRun harness and go over the leads. Here's our QuickRun harness. And as you can see, it comes with a power distribution or fuse box and two leads coming off the side. The first lead coming off the side will have your ECM connection. When you first get it, it'll already be open in this position. Connect that to the ECM and lever it down. The next connection is going to be your body connection. So connect it to the body connector. Just simply push and slide. The sleeve locks it in place. To take it off, you press this section of the sleeve and pull it apart. That's it. Coming off of this lead, you also see you have the CAN bus star connector and the OBD2 port. We'll use that in a bit. We have the electronic gas pedal connector, or the APPS. You can just plug that into the matching gas pedal. Okay. This end, right, so this is the factory electric fan connector for a lot of your late model Chargers and Challengers, so think 2005 up. This simply plugs into the electric fan assembly, and you have one lead that goes to ground. So we're just going to go ahead and ground it on this fuse box we have made up. That easy. Now we have our 5 makeup wires. You have the ground for the wiring system. So that's what the eyelet terminal is. We're going to put that to ground right here on the test stand. You're going to have blue wire W10. That's going to go to the positive terminal on your fuel pump. So that's where this wire is here. This red wire goes to the fuel pump. You have this large 14 gauge wire 21 that goes to battery positive. Next up, you have wire W13. This wire is for 12 volts in the start position. So we have this push button set up here. That's this. Whenever we're hitting the start button and cranking the engine, that's what this is. Next is red wire W19. That is 12 volts key on, which is what this is. So when we arm the switch, it gets 12 volts. Something to know about this W19 is in a lot of old Mopars, when you actually go into the key on switch, it drops out as you roll over to start position. So that's why in our key legend, we say 12 volts during cranking and key on. You don't want to tap into a source, say on the bottom of the fuse box or on the ignition ballast side for your key on, because it'll drop out. You'll lose voltage in the start position. So make sure whatever you tap into has power in key on and during start, or it'll cut your computer out while it's trying to crank the engine. So you have that. And the last 2 wires we have here are optional. This wire 22 would come out of your high pressure switch for your AC system, such as vintage air or even your factory AC system. That goes through the factory harness down to the compressor, and you can use that if you want to run AC or not. The last wire is W51, and this is a starter output wire. If you don't have a full factory assembly and you maybe have relocated your starter from one side of the engine to the other, what you can do is take this wire, extend it, and run it all the way down to the starter post on your starter, and it will spin your starter over. When you use the vehicles just as they came, like this, where the factory engine trans combo has never been separated, we're using the factory starter location. The starter wiring all comes through the body connector. You don't have to worry about using this W51. This is strictly optional if you relocate the starter. That's what it's there for. That's it. We have connected everything up. We can go ahead and, I guess, maybe put the battery on. That helps. We have battery power. We're going to go ahead and arm the system. You'll hear the throttle body cycle and calibrate. The fuel pump, do a pre-prime on the entire fuel system. And what we like to do when we get these harnesses is to calibrate the pedal. We'll do that 3 times. So we did it once. Listen for everything to stop. And do it one more time. Now the throttle body is calibrated with the gas pedal, the APPS sensor. We can go ahead and start it. All right. Other things we can do, I'll go ahead and power it back on, is we can connect the scan tool to the OBD port, read any codes or conditions we may have, even do live data if we want to. You'll see it'll go ahead and it'll connect and link to the CAN network. And that's it. Everything's good to go. So now you know how to wire up your QuickRun. Thanks.